Here we are streaming live on September 17th. And it's a big day. It's September 17th, the day of the Emmys and also the day of the FISA Declass, as predicted months and months ago. So if nobody's come on yet, so you're probably listening to the recording. If you ever want to hear me live, you have to make sure the little bell to the right of the subscribe button is highlighted and says all notifications. And then obviously you need to have YouTube notifications coming to your front screen. Here we got a bunch of people coming on right now. So good news. Yes, Gina, I hear you. So we got people from Toronto and Riverside, California and Virginia and Miami and Antarctica again, says GTO Mama. And anxiously here following Q drops. I hear you. Yeah, they've been coming out. Massachusetts, California. Thank you all for being on. Here we go. We have got so much to cover. I think there's 17 Q drops, and there's an SB2 decode, and there's a Neon Revolt teaching us how to actually do the how to actually work with 8chan. So just so much to cover. There's no way I can do it in an hour, and I have to pick up my wife from the airport, so I'm going to have to keep it to around 50 minutes. So we're going to get through as much of this as we can. On my backup channels from now on, I'm going to be doing the actual prophecies and the actual prayers and discussion on my backup channel. So that's just to encourage everybody to get on there. So make sure you subscribe to my backup channels, because I fully anticipate that they are panicking so much that they are going to take me off air, right? And so we have these backup channels for a reason, to make it a lot harder for them. So anyway, let's get rolling on these massive amounts of decode we get to do, right? It's like, whoa, fun stuff. Talking about Emmy Awards, talking about your war face, all kinds of, talking about the pain, just all kinds of posts, I think 17 of them. So we left off yesterday, and I think we were able to cover all of this, right? We talked about prepare your memes. Remember, because the non-SA tech filters cannot read or filter them. So do memes around the Emmys, right? With the Emmy goes to QAnon. I'll show you one of those. It's just really cool here in a second. And then we went over, it says test Thursday by DoD to confirm the free flow of direct comm. So we reviewed that. So the first one that came to this morning was, tonight at 4:48 Eastern time was this one, September 17th. Do you believe in coincidence? This is the bomb. The BOBM, the MOAB, at least I don't even think it's the Moab. I think it's leading up to it. But this is pretty short, so I'm going to read it. And this is awesome. Statement from the press secretary, September 17th. That's the day of the Emmys, right? It says, at the request of a number of committees of Congress and for reasons of transparency, the President has directed the Office of Director of National Intelligence and the Department of Justice, including the FBI, to provide for the immediate declassification of the following materials. 1. Pages 10 through 12 and 17 to 34 of the June 2017 application to the FISA court in the matter of Carter W. Page. That's the big one. That's the FISA 20 they've been talking about, right? Because the FISA 20 is actually going to cover the entire Rod Rosenstein, the fourth FISA that was signed, after they already knew for sure everything was false, the dossier was false. And then number 2 says, all FBI reports of interviews of Bruce G. Orr prepared in connection with the Russian investigation. Now that's huge, because he was the back channel to Christopher Steele, right? And number 3, all FBI reports of interviews prepared in connection with the Carter Page FISA applications. Woo! So that is going to be pretty large there too, if you just think about that. So that's all the interviews and all the 301s they may be changed, or maybe or the 302s they change, and plus all the how did they come up with this, right? It's going to be revealed. Now here's another thing that we weren't expecting as much. In addition, President Donald J. Trump has directed the Department of Justice, including the FBI, to publicly release all text messages relating to the Russia investigation without redaction of James Comey, Andrew McCabe, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, and Bruce Orr. Boom. Boom. I'm telling you, that as that comes out the next few weeks, it's going to be like boom, boom, boom. Carpet bombs, more carpet bombs, right? So that was 2187, and that was just the beginning. Q was on fire tonight. 2188, attention on deck. Memes at the ready. Lock on target. Fire at will, Q. So now if you go to my Twitter, you already see memes are coming out right and left. Get them on my Facebook. Get them on my Twitter. Just add @blessed2teach on the Twitter after you tweet it. And let's get memes out there of all kinds. And no need to put a lot of hashtags, I don't think, because I think they could filter through those. And Q's telling us they don't want to filter them, right? So just send the meme and put my name on it, @blessed2teach. And I will make sure I forward all those that aren't grossly ugly or something like that, right? Or, aren't offensive or whatever. So that's 2188. 2189 actually says, Annon's picked up on the carpet bombs. For you and you alone. Fight, fight, fight. And so the carpet bombs were all these text messages being released and everything leading up to the FISA Declass, right? On the Emmy night. Woo! The Emmy Awards. And so if you look at this 2189, first he posts something that has a picture of, an Anon actually posted this that had a picture of Trump with his eyes all lit up. Said, Q, you were right all along. Emmys, red carpet, keck. Where we go one, we go all. And he's got another one on there. I don't know why. but bottom line is that here Trump is activated. He actually told us, Q actually told us, Emmys, red carpet. Right? And it says, Annon's picked up on the carpet bombs. For you alone, fight, fight, fight. So that's 2189. Then we go to 2190. At what point does it become mathematically impossible? And this is what it's just talking about, how he's telling us everything, right? We're getting to in advance, so we get to see the trailers to the movie beforehand, before anybody else even knows the movie's out. So here's Lisa May Crowley saying, listening to the @Larry O'Connor show on WMAL, John Solomon confirms Lisa Page and Bruce Orr have been cooperating witnesses. We, of course, already knew this. Future proves past. We knew this all the way back from, when was this? 5/4. May 4th, we knew they were cooperating witnesses. And when does the public get to find out about it? We know they don't know till September 17th. Right? That's the whole point of this. And that's the beautiful part about this. And that makes this so fun to be able to actually see history fold right before our eyes. Here's 2191, Emmy Awards, red carpet event, Q. This was back on April 30th. So what was going to happen on September 27th, he told us on April 30th. Now that's crazy if you just think about it. Emmy Awards, red carpet event, Q. You are learning, we will not fail you, Q. Another just huge Q proofs coming right and left. 2192. Where we go one, we go all. And here is a White House Twitter. Again, the White House Twitter basically saying here is and this is at 5:24 today. And so there might be some more proofs here, and I haven't had a chance to really decode much of this because I worked all late and then having to get ready for go pick up my wife. So we'll listen to this in a second. But we are all one people. We are all part of one great American family, and we are all in this together, saluting one flag, singing one anthem, and pledging allegiance to one nation under God, present at real Donald Trump. Now here, you're going to hear this, and he says that at the end of this.
And hailing from every single walk of life. But we are all one people. We are all part of one great American family. And we are all in this together, saluting one flag, singing one anthem, and pledging allegiance to one nation under God. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you. God bless America.
Yeah, isn't that awesome? Now that's a little bit longer. You can go listen to the whole beginning of it, where it was basically just giving I think it's appreciation for Hispanics and all the great reduction in unemployment and business people, etc. So you can go back and listen to that whole thing. Just not going to have time to do it tonight. But here, that's 2192. 2193 is our familiar pain. P-A-N, but we've seen this 3 or 4 times, and we know it's coming. Then Anon said, "Let me see your war face," right? And then this is it, lads. This is it. This is the culmination of movie number 1, right? And here's Do You Believe in Coincidences? And then it has this pin. You see that behind me right now. That's what I blew up. Declass FISA with this, showing the White House pin, right? And what's interesting, Donald J. Trump said, Lisa Page testimony, no evidence of collusion before Mueller appointment, at Fox News by Catherine Hedridge. Therefore, the case should never have been allowed to be brought. It is totally illegal witch hunt. And then Sarah Carter goes, exactly. And then this person is actually saying, declass FISA with this, and it actually happened. It's kind of cool. This Twitter's cool. It's got a picture of the Q hat as well as the military showing the 23 people, right? Which is 32, 23. We've seen that at Skull and Bones versus the White Hats. So just all kinds of messages going on here. That's 2193 and 2194. 2195. Goodbye, Mr. Rosenstein. Goodbye, Mr. Mueller. Patriots in control. Q. Woo! Pretty self-explanatory there, right? Now, I think that, as you know, I think that these guys were here for a reason, and this was the plan all along, to let them go to make the Democrats and the deep state red, I guess, rhinos, etc., that are on both sides. This is not just right versus left. This is deep state evil versus the white hats here. So here we go. Activate Sessions. the reverse kill brackets. Having Sessions all capitalized with reverse kill brackets. You've seen those things where with Sessions with the wide eyes. Sessions is activated. Q. Right when the left is saying, "Oh, he's our friend. Watch out. He's going to start dropping the bombs now." Here's the big long one. This big long one is 2197. And again, this is a post from the 15th, just a couple days ago, where it had a link. So it's a picture that can't be brought up. It's FEMA Presidential Alert Trump Emergency Test that we're going to have on Thursday. Declass coming? ? More incriminating text releases coming? Yes. Dark to light, carpet bombs to Moab. So remember all these things were carpet bombs coming down. Right here now, is this the Moab? I don't know. I think the Moabs are going to be coming out from the information themselves, right? 2198. The world is watching. And here's actually something from the Reddit, which is kind of interesting because obviously we got kicked out of there. But this is just truth. This is just truth. And this is also showing up on Vote as well, too, by the way. This is why they shut down the Great Awakening. A peek at our Great Awakening's traffic stats from before the ban. Look at this. In January, had 42,000 unique visitors. Over 1.7 million in August. 34 million page views. That is why the deep state took this down. They used their technocrat swamp creatures, the criminal Silicon Valley, to basically take us down because over 1.7 million unique views. I mean, unique visitors, right? So that is exactly what is happening there. The world is watching. That was 2198. 2199. Panic in D.C. D's offering to kill sexual assault allegation versus Judge Kavanaugh in exchange for immediate pullback of Declass. POTUS, Judge K will be confirmed regardless. Q. See, so if they just did not want this information to come out. I mean, this just shows you how corrupt the leaders of the Democratic Party have become. Complete. I mean, they control. That's what they're part of this whole takedown of America scheme. Maxine Waters on the financial committee, so that the schemes with the Clinton Foundation financially, the audits wouldn't go through, etc. So they had her in that place, and they have each of their criminal people in different places. And so that's 2199. That's interesting that they offered, hey, we'll allow Kavanaugh to go through if you pull back the Declass. And it's like, nope. POTUS, Judge K will be confirmed regardless. 2200, panic in D.C. Rod Rosenstein requested meeting number 2 with POTUS declined. Q. So, so remember, he always comes up and tries to ask for something. So now POTUS isn't even taking the meetings anymore. 2201, panic in D.C., blackmail versus Senate and House, bridge fake news media being used to apply leverage against POTUS and or force immediate impeachment hearings based on mental state, potential release of state secrets, sources, and methods. So basically, they're trying to do everything. Panic in D.C. We need to basically say we are going to blackmail the Senate and House. Our fake news media is going to be all over you, and we're going to tell them that you're going to they're going to lie like they always do, and they're going to say you're releasing state secrets and sources and methods. This is the worst abuse of power ever. I already saw Adam Schiff being quoted as saying this is the worst abuse of ever. It's like, give me a break, guys. And they're going to actually try to do everything they can, and even threaten, if you do this, we're going to take up impeachment proceedings. Well, they've done that many times already, and it doesn't even go anywhere, and it's not going to work. 2202, panic in D.C. Lynch is talking. Loretta Lynch, the one that was promised the Supreme Court position on the tarmac by Billy. So it's like Loretta Lynch is talking. So I don't know, this might be disinformation, and Lynch is going, oh my goodness, now the deep state's going to try to kill me, maybe putting pressure on her, or maybe it's true. But if she's talking, they're in big trouble because she's in the midst of all that corruption that was going on. 2203, panic in D.C., Sessions and Huber weekend meetings. Q. So they're going to accelerate. Maybe they're talking about unsealing some indictments. How would that be? We don't need them all. Just a few here and there would be good, right? 2204, panic in D.C. Sessions class letter to Supreme Court Justices 1 and 2 regarding recusal, unrecusal, and clarity regarding conflicts based on unclassified material. Today, highest court authority approval. Woo! So they've already gone through the paces of saying, hey, this declassification is approved by the Supreme Court. So so good luck trying to take it to court and try to stop it or slow it down. It's coming out. They thought of everything. Wow. So that was 17 bombs we just got dropped on us. That it's going to, again, put panic in D.C. and it's pain, P-A-I-N, with this FISA Declass and everything associated with it. Movie number 1 is coming to a climax, guys. We talked about that, right? Now, tons of news to go over too, and an SB2 decode that's really cool as well. So let me close some of these down. Fortunately, it's a new computer. I don't have to do that. It's so fast. It's awesome. There it is right there. That little 2 paragraphs. That is the bomb. Just 2 little paragraphs with massive presidential power. Woo! This says, wired sources. Just in, Democrats focused on sabotaging Brett Kavanaugh confirmation, caught by surprise of President Trump's order to release bombshell documents exposing Obama DOJ anti-Trump abuse. So this is coming everywhere. Bless POTUS. No redactions. And all the texts. People are going, bam. Now that's see some perp walks. That's the most transparent administration in history, except for real this time. That's so funny because Obama's saying he was the most transparent administration in history when he was doing all this corrupt stuff behind our back. It was the least transparent. So it says the most transparent administration in history, except for real this time. That's just awesome. Just awesome stuff. So remember, upvote is you just click on the little arrow, and that's how you upvote things, right? Visit. Why isn't it in the Drudge yet? I haven't even seen if it's in Drudge yet. I guess it wasn't at least a couple hours ago. Here's some more stuff about this. This is why they shut down the Great Awakening. It's happening. It's happening. Everybody's saying, bomb, bomb. Everybody. Brenda says online here. Yes, vindicated. Makes sense. It's all happening. We've been waiting for this. Hooray. While I would like to think it was because there was something like 70,000 members and 70 people talking about something that could be fatal. It wasn't 70,000, it was like 300,000. That's why we know about these numbers of 1.7 million users and so many page views. So that's just incredible. But he told us September 17th. When I just typed in Emmy Awards 2018 dates. I'm not watching this crap, but you may have been watching it. 7 p.m. Central Time. Started a couple hours ago. So That's when it was released, as he told us all the way back in May that was going to be happening. Breaking, Trump calls for declassification of docs and texts. Here we go. Great day for our country. A quick reminder of Q post. Declass of FISA will initiate the resignation, recusal, and or removal of Rod Rosenstein. Declass of FISA will initiate the awareness that all signers will be currently under investigation. That's huge. Huge. Declass of FISA will factually demonstrate without argument the U.S. government under Hussein knowingly presented false evidence to FISC in an effort to obtain legal U.S. intelligence umbrella and surveillance of POTUS, identified targets, as he was the identified target, for the sole purpose of influencing the 26th election of the presidency. Not Russia, but Hussein HRC projection, safeguard against possible loss of power and firewalls. Use of back channel surveillance, spy insertion, body 1, 2, and 5 by UK, Australia, primarily activated under Director Brennan, Director Clapper, with PDP presidential daily briefings, regular updates. Boom, you're caught, Obama. Plus live streaming White House Hussein non-oval situation room coordination. FISA full brings down the House, the White House. Q, the Obama White House. This is like big stuff, guys. We've been waiting for this day for a long time, and it's going to be really fun to watch the end of this movie, number 1, roll out over these next few weeks as all this information pours out to show the absolute corruption. POTUS ordering declassification of FISA docs is just announced on the 17th. Talking about, he told us a couple days ago, 17th, I think it was yesterday, right? Plus all the way back in April. Double holy S, this person says. And there's a whole, they're saying that QMAP was down at this time. It wasn't. Probably overwhelmed the server. Yeah, that's right. Everybody's going to QAnon.map now. Here's an example of meme. Emmys, hashtag fire. Attention on deck. Memes at the ready. Lock on target. Fire at will. Q. P.S. Screw the mods here for dividing us all. And then, look at this. There's an example of an awesome meme. And the Emmy goes to, because it's going to be really hard to find this, right? Now, this WWG1GA might be something that, but look at that. A Q gets the Emmy Award, right? Those are the type of images we need to be flying all over Twitter and Facebook and Gab, any social media, Instagram, whatever you use. Please get the memes out. Be there and retweet them, etc. We got hammers and popcorn and bombs going on over here with Lauren Ryder and Colleen. I love it. So here we go on 2204. Highest court authority approval. So, it appears that the Supreme Court just approved the release of the Declass in spite of what the MSM is saying to try to blackmail the Senate and Congress. Right? So they're moving forward. Even the deep state is panicked. Here is a whole thing, a riddle. This is SB. This is Serial Brain 2, SB2. Serial Brain 2. This is going to be hard for you guys to read. I haven't figured out how to make the text bigger yet on this new vote. So, but I'll do my best. It's probably better because you won't see me mispronounce anything. Here goes. You are now familiar with the method we start with, a synthetic look at the riddle by gathering all the relevant components in a single image with the first degree connections. And so this is a riddle on 2172 and 2176 riddle. Will this be the week? Could Flynn be Q? And so this was the week. We just found that out, right? But here we are talking about. You remember, I see the Q people, and he's showing Declass coming. This he said back on September 15th, about the 17th. President alert: FEMA to test emergency alert system next week. So we know that's going to be happening. And then it says, will this be the week? In that article that he actually posted too, as well, and that was a panic in D.C. back on the 15th, right? And then we talked about the whole executive order back in 2009 that had these 4 components showing that he could declassify them, and then another tweet where we saw Flynn with a couple of his buddies, where we go one, we go all, and the woke with a Q on the O, right? We saw all that. So that's the image that he's starting with. And as you can see, Q puts us right in the middle of the FISA declassification process by linking Q2172 to a CNN article. I think I remember that. I'm not going to give him more clicks, but basically that was a CNN article that was talking about the emergency alert system, about FEMA testing the emergency alert system. Q is hinting there are chances this week may become rocky and the security measure are being implemented to avoid any overflow. Then in Q2175, he links to the National Review article where it's hinted this week may be the week when Trump will declassify and publicize key FISA Gate documents. We know that's true now. In particular, the redacted portions of the Carter Page surveillance warrant applications. Icing on the cake, 2176 reveals that to declassify, Trump would be using sections 1.7 of Obama's executive order 13526, where 4 case scenarios are clearly listed to describe declassification prohibitions and limitations. Wow, popcorn. Let's take a closer look at 2172. What is September 17th week of? Do you remember Rachel Brand? She resigned in February 20th, 2018 from her Associate Attorney General position, number 3 in the DOJ, to take a job as a head of global corporate governance at Walmart. And there's a link there. I'm not going to go to it. But in Q1433, Q reminded us that the rules under which she was able to be replaced and that the acting AAG had a 210-day lifespan in the job. In the same drop, he then asked the question, when does the clock run out? Well, if you add the 210 days to February 20th, 2018, you get Tuesday, September 18th, 2018. That's tomorrow, says, which is today. That's today. This week of is the week when the acting AAG cannot be acting anymore and the position becomes vacant. Now look at those drops. It's these drops. So just think about that. So now that the number 3, if Rod Rosenstein goes, then boom, Sessions got both positions, full control over his DOJ. So Q1433, once the extremely guarded and highly classified information is finally revealed to House investigators, DNI, public, etc., Rod Rosenstein must recuse or forcibly terminate. RR problems. What was RR Senate confirmation vote? Ray reports to RR. Important fact. So Ray reports up to Rod Rosenstein, but Rod Rosenstein, who is a deep state operative, that's why everybody voted for him. Q1470. When the info is released, Rod Rosenstein no more. When the info is released, no more Russia investigation. Do you see it? When the declassification occurs and that Rod Rosenstein implication in the FISA is public, RR occupying DOJ number 2 position is gone, but the DOJ number 3 position will also become vacant because of the 210-day rule. So, Almighty Sessions, descending from the heavens, sitting on a throne with a golden hammer, direct link with Ray, direct oversight of Mueller if unrecused, controlled link with Mueller through number 3 refill. Game over. Q1602, the game is over when the public knows. When this happens, the left will go crazy. I can't wait to see how Mockingbird MSM is going to deal with this. Now you understand why FEMA tests the emergency alert system and why Q posted this. And here is post number 22, right? And here is 1602, way back on June 27th, Donald Trump tweet that said, "Congrats to the Democrats, who, after last night, are now officially the party of impeachment, open borders, abolishing ICE, banning the Second Amendment, and unbridled socialism. The Democratic Party of John F. Kennedy is dead. RIP." This tweet struck me as odd, almost as if it were a marker of some sorts. It was. So here we see on this post, you should know this based on earlier drops regarding Saudi Arabia, National Guard, military assets activated on U.S. soil. We will declass. No amount of money, influence, or power can stop this. Our rights to secure and protect at all costs then become justified. Who controls the National Guard? Why is the National Guard recently activated in select cities within the U.S.? Can the National Guard work in coordination with the Marines? The answer is yes there. This was way back on October 31st, 3 days after he started posting, right? Post number 22, going all the way back there. Now, let's take a closer look at the contortionist executive order. Now, this was talking about the contortionist is Obama. He calls him that. And so you'll just see, and we talked about this is wild. Look at the executive order. This is back in 2009, and just crazy if this gematria stuff actually works here. If you add up all those numbers, it equals 17. The EO 13526 that Obama signed on December 29th, 2009, it adds up to 17. Q. And the section in there that actually is going to sync them to be able to declass is 1.7, 17Q. And then if you look at the page number it's on, it's 302, which, as you know, through the elimination thing he does, 32 is just like the 32 versus 23, skull and bones versus the white hats, right? So I thought that was just wild stuff that this guy's brain can figure out. It's EO 13526, and these numbers, what do you get? Yes, 17. That's Q. Coincidence? How about section 1.7? Coincidence? How about section 1.7 being at page 302? Do you remember the inversion? Skull and bones, 32 versus Trump Q 23. Coincidence? Don't you find it ironic? Trump is going to use an executive order signed by Obama to destroy all his deep state network, and that it has Q written all over it. Q 1085, have faith, trust the plan, Q. And then SB2 keeps on going. He says, but there's more. Let's analyze the picture of Q 2173. It's 1143 by 720 pixels picture. Let's add the two numbers and we get 1863. Now expand your thinking. How can you read this number with time in the back of your head? Yes, 1863. And so now this logic was a jump for me, but which is either 1903 or 1803, depending on if you have an analytic reading adding the minutes to get hours, or a photographic reading just looking at the position in the watch hands. Either way, you notice whatever number you pick, it will be Q2175's timestamp on 8chan or on QAnon.pub. Pretty cool, right? We then therefore deduce that Q2173 picture is related to the FISA panic in D.C. described in Q2175. So this whole crisis in D.C., and so he's linking all this together, and it's kind of cool the way he's doing this. Now it says, now let's look at the picture file names. So you see that big long file name. First in the gematria of the whole thing is 177. Repetition rule, it's 17 equals Q. Coincidence? Keep this somewhere in the back of your head, and we'll get back to that. Do you see this AAG between the 8 and the 5? That's Q hinting we should separate the string to the exact AAG as one block. So it is interesting. It says 8 AAG 5 right in the middle of this file name. AAG, being acting attorney general, right? And so he breaks up into two blocks. We get three blocks. First block is this, 137. Use gematria as authority. The third block, 5LN, same gematria as safe. The file name becomes AAG authority safe. So that's what he's saying, basically, that that file name basically comes out to mean AAG, authority safe. This AAG was the lead Q gave us as a hint based on the content, like a street sign showing the direction. It can therefore be dropped, and since we know the picture is related to FISA, we can deduce that Q coded that the FISA declassification process will restore complete authority in the DOJ and put it in safe hands, which is a confirmation of this January 21st, 2018 drop. And it says Q570 memo reinstates Sessions' authority regarding Russia all. So that's amazing. So there's a little bit more here, about 4 more paragraphs. You want more? Sure. You can also read the file name as the anagram of 2 string types, letters and numbers. If you separate the string types and put the letters in one block and the numbers in another, the file name, that big huge number, I'm not going to read it. Why did I do this? Because I saw the witch. Yes, you have to memorize a few numeric names from the movie casting. Hillary equals 85. Since that big long file name equals 164, the file name becomes 16485. Gematria of now the end begins. Yes, 164. The final message Q coded was that once the FISA declassification process is initiated, it will be the beginning of the end for the witch. Now, this Q2174 is key. It's the tweet showing Flynn on the Eagle Council. Why is Q inserting this tweet between the image I have just decoded and the Q2175 FISA panic in DC drop? If he's going to give a link to Flynn's speech at the event in 2178? Redundancy? No. You and I know that never happens on the Q board. The reason is because Q is hinting Flynn is in the middle of all this. He is involved in this declassification, the AAG, the FEMA process. I will tell you how. Let's analyze Q2178. Look at the video minute mark Q picked, 212. Does this ring a bell? Do you remember Q2095 and its picture? I decoded this message hidden in its file name in my post. So you want to know why Trump tweeted treason? I will tell you. Quick reminder, the file name of the picture in Q2095 is this DW big long one. The original gematria is 212, and it was established that it is the value of do you doubt me now? And also, do you know who I am? And also, there are no coincidences. Do you see it? Let's go back to the Q2173 picture I told you to keep elsewhere in the back of your head. And the overall gematria of the file name was 177. Same gematria as do you remember me? Let's recap. A Twitter picture of Flynn is inserted between 2173 and 2175, which are both about FISA declassification, DOJ cleaning, and the required security measures in case of national disruption. A link is provided to the video with the coded message, do you doubt me now? Do you know who I am? Do you remember me? There are no coincidences. Now I have 2 questions for you. Gematria for Q, 17. Gematria for Flynn, 71. Woo! Mirrors of each other. Q, 1685. Now do you understand why mirrors and disinformation is necessary? Logical thinking. 20. Q. Wow. I think, so he figured that all out before it was actually released. So that's SB2 for you. And just an incredible decoder, I think. Neon Revolt, another one of my favorites. I did not get a chance to go over this, but I just wanted to make sure you guys knew this. Since 8chan might be the only board up, that's Q's kind of predicting that if the whole internet goes down and 8chan's the only thing up that you can get to, he's doing a boot camp, learning to chan like a pro. So I know some of you are having troubles with Vote and you don't even want to touch 8chan. But if it's the only thing that's up, and it's the only way he's going to talk to us, we might want to think about getting on 8chan. So I just want to point you to this, neonrevolt.com. There's a little tutorial here where he talks to you about how these different terms are and how different people are chanting, right? And you don't respond to shills. You just can't get mad at people. You just ignore them, right? Because there's just a bunch of weird people there along with all the true patriots, right? So good, neonrevolt.com is what you want to go to find that. And I'll have a link below this in the video, in the notes. I'm going to be launching my website later this week, and most of my notes will be on the website after this. And I'll have the link in there. It's going to be a little easier for me because I'm also people that want the notes coming from the podcast. So I only have to do it once versus twice. Hope you understand. I know it may be a little less convenient, but I have to keep myself efficient. I'm having basically two jobs here, right? Here's a Kavanaugh accuser's brother worked for a law firm that paid Fusion GPS for work with Russian lawyer who set up Trump Tower meeting. So this person that's trying to stop and delay Kavanaugh, this last-minute tactic, of course they didn't bring it up even though they knew about this accusation way back. Feinstein pulled it out this late because they want to extend the process as long as possible because they don't want the military tribunal starting in January. Sorry, because they were probably going to be, the fact that the military tribunals are happening are going to be potentially, questioned and court cases coming up to try to stop those. And having Kavanaugh in there is a 5-4 and he clearly stated in his confirmation hearing that he understood the difference and supported military law, right? So the difference of that. So again, the accuser's brother worked for a law firm that paid Fusion GPS for work with a Russian lawyer who set up Trump Tower meeting. What else? Well, from the hard to make this S up files, Kavanaugh's mother was judge on his accuser's parents' foreclosure proceedings. So they hate Kavanaugh, right? It's becoming so that they will, more likely lie. And here's just a summary of even more stuff. This Anon says, so Kavanaugh is first mentioned as a Supreme Court nominee by Romney in 2012. Blassley, his accuser, remembers in 2013 to her psychologist. Blassley's brother-in-law has Fusion GPS connection. Blassley's parents, defendants on foreclosure. Kavanaugh's mom was judge. Blassley's attorney is a Democrat-og. Blassley signed anti-Trump petitions and has bias. No one since July by Dems, but not mentioned in hearing and dropped at last second anonymously. Kavanaugh has 65 women spontaneously defend him. Doesn't work, so accuser comes out in person and as tell-all. Typical Republicans waffle and flake off. Why don't we meme target the weak Republicans? F them. All right. So anyway, good summary of what's going on with this whole deal. It's not gonna work though. Strzok discussed opening a case filing charges 2 hours after Comey's firing. So there's all kinds of bizarre stuff being discovered. This is on sarahacarter.com. Here's one on, oh boy, I've only got 10 minutes. I got to wrap it up here, guys, pretty quick. Who will investigate the FBI and DOJ top secret leaks to the media? Well, they tell you what, it's going to be pretty amazing when you look at that stuff. And this is, again, Sarah A. Carter. Leaking top secret information carries a sentence of up to 10 years in prison or fines just for leaking once, let alone if they did it 3 or 4 or 5 times, plus other criminal activity, most likely. Congressman Mark Meadows said the leaks indicate a widespread culture of leaking amongst senior officials. We have corruptness at the highest levels going on. There's also Nunes. He talked about this yesterday. I'm not going to go in details of it, but there's a carpet bomb of information coming out. Every day there's going to be new information coming out with the text messages that we're going to be getting, plus all the depositions of the 70 people they interviewed for the Republican investigation of the House. So crazy stuff coming out. It's going to be awesome. Q said to look at history books. 8chan Anon did just that. This is really interesting about how basically, and I don't have time to read this, but they says we can't let them take away patriotism. So all the new history books make it look like the U.S. is just terrible, and that and it's not patriotic to be in the Army or Navy or any of the armed forces. We can't let them take away religion. So Christianity is completely taken out of the history books now. We can't let them take away our history. We won't let them take away freedom. Where we go one, we go all. So this is the whole thing about, we talked about the enemy took over Silicon Valley, the enemy took over Wall Street, the enemy took over Hollywood, and they also took over academia. Completely have taken it over in the last 3 decades, have made it all politically correct, anti-patriotism, anti-religion. It's a sad the way the history's gone. But now, based on our book, they also were manipulating it way back in the 1900s based upon Carnegie and all the New World Order people as well. So to get back to true history is going to be a tough battle, but we need to go win it. That's part of being the army of God and taking back and put righteousness back in each of these institutions. And this says, attention Q Reddit and RGA folks, here we go. It begins. And this is just showing you, again, if you go to hot, this will list everything that's been hot the last 2 or 3 hours. You go to top and everything that's hot the last 24 hours. So that's how I get my news for you guys most of the time. And that, besides Sarah A. Carter, John Solomon, as well as Dan Bongino. And then I go to here, the top and the hot of Vote, VOAT.co. Okay? Here is Sessions invites 24 state attorney generals to summit on social media monopolies. This will be important, right? Because it'll be. I hope they go fast because they're going to be popping people off, right? They already took all of us off Reddit. Now they're going after Facebook and Twitter, and then they're going to go after YouTube. That's why you need to please go subscribe to my backup channels. They're in the links right below this in the notes. The links will be there. And then I'm going to actually be doing the exclusive content. So my prayer / prophecy and discussion is going to be going on the other board, on the backup board, so I can get those counts up so that I'll be able to stream live effectively with you guys, even if they take this channel down. So that's the news. Again, Facebook is where I want you to get me. It's just Blessed to Teach right here. Blessed to Teach. And then Twitter. It's also at Blessed to Teach. This is where we want to do memes, guys. This is important. This is the time now to really, if you don't have a Twitter account, go create one and just start memeing the heck out of it. But what you would do is you would just send me, these people are here. They're putting the meme, and then they're putting at Blessed to Teach. And then I retweet it for you, right? Here's something about Biden. There's uproot corruption here. And again, because I found this because somebody put at Blessed to Teach and at Praying Medic here. You can see that, right? So seek the truth about 9/11. There was actually 3 buildings that dropped, right? So Twitter and memes is a real key thing for us to do right now. Okay, so come here and make sure we're doing that, and we're going to get that message out. I also have a Patreon, guys. And you'll see you can come in at even $1 a month. Anybody who does over $10 a month, $10 or more a month is going to get exclusive content. I'm going to be filming myself at least probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 times a day, just a little minute deal showing you how I'm preparing or whatever. And so just to kind of get you to be more part of my life. So really appreciate anybody that can help me out. I'm going to be spending a lot of money diversifying to all these other platforms. I've got a brand new computer, as you saw, 3 microphones, so I'm not beating them up when I'm traveling. One bot didn't work real well. But this is going to cost quite a bit of money, and I really appreciate you guys coming and supporting me. And I have a little survey that you can take here as well. Here is Panics in D.C., Lynch talking, Q. Okay, I already went over that. So, all right, let me go do a quick prophecy. This is a long one when I don't have the time, but I'm gonna go through it anyway. So we will. Yeah, I probably need to be leaving in about 6 or 7 minutes. So we'll see. Somebody just tweeted some weird picture on my Apple Watch on Twitter. So the memes are starting to flow. Good news. Do not fear America. This is swordrescue.com. Mark Taylor. You can see all of it on SORD right here. Swordrescue.com. The Spirit of God says, why do I sense fear in my people about the future of America? Have I not said that I heard your cries and will heal your land? Stand firm. Do not falter. Put on the full armor of God. Rake the enemy over the coals, for the time battle is on for my 1 billion souls. The Spirit of God says, do not fear that my servant Justice Scalia has been taken, for some are crying out, why have I forsaken? For I will show myself strong to prove that the so-called wise are wrong. For some will say that this is a miracle, for I am just getting started. This is not even close to the pinnacle for what I am going to do with America. For do not my people have eyes to see and ears to hear the two signs I gave when they carried my servant's body up the steps of the courthouse where to rest he was laid? Read the signs. Read the signs. What were for all to see and understand the words in this prophecy. I'm going to pause right there because Mark Taylor, I heard him interviewed. And during that funeral for Scalia, there was two things that happened. Number one, you heard sirens, and then you heard trains. So basically the Trump train coming in the emergency. And so the Trump train saved our butts when it came to the Supreme Court and everything else, our liberty, religious liberty, everything. It's amazing what's happened right now. So this prophecy continues. The Spirit of God says, 5, that's right, 5 Supreme Court justices will be appointed by my new president, my anointed. I will choose 5 through my anointed to keep those alive. I will stack the court with those that I choose to send a clear message to the enemy that you lose. This is the miracle that I will perform so that my court will be reformed. The Spirit of God says, the cries that I have heard from the womb have reached my ears, and ears like a sonic boom. My eyes and ears like a sonic boom. The 5 I appoint, and the reform that shall take place, the great I am shall take on this case. For it is my will and my way for all those that have prayed that my court shall overturn Roe versus Wade. The Spirit of God says, America, get ready, for I am choosing from the top of the cream, for I am putting together America's dream team, from the President and his administration to judges and Congress, to erase America's frustrations. The Spirit of God says, rise up, army, and get in the fight, for this is a generation that's taking flight. This is the generation of warriors that those of old wanted to see, and the enemy will have no choice but to flee. Rise up. Stomp the enemy's heads with bliss. Send the enemy back to hell and into the abyss. This is a generation of warriors that all of hell has feared to face and see. But I am, and all of heaven is cheering you on with glee, your supreme commander, God. I want to emphasize that this is not talking about physical violence at all. This is talking about prayer warriors. This is talking about getting involved in politics, getting involved in speaking out. This is about taking back our country, putting righteous people in academia, putting righteous people in Silicon Valley, into Wall Street, into Hollywood, into all parts of our life. We gave up all those strongholds and we're taking them back. Okay, it's not about physical violence. This is about prayer. Join the show here with QAnon, etc. Let me pray. Heavenly Father, just thank you so much for saving us. Just at Scalia's funeral, you showed us you're sending the Trump train to actually save us. Lord, thank you. You know you save us spiritually through Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ alone. But physically, our refuge is in you. And you literally have sent an amazing, your hand is just on this whole nation. It's just so obvious, and it's so exciting to see, and it's so awesome that we can participate. Lord, thank you for allowing us to just get understanding and discernment from QAnon and from each other, and learning and studying and questioning those questions he's asking, and we go study for ourselves. Lord, we need at this point in time discernment like we've never had it. There's so many enemies after us, so much disinformation coming out, not only from the dishonest media, but also now we have dishonest people in our own midst. The independent media is being completely disruptive and dishonest. Lord, so we need discernment. Please give it to everyone listening to my voice right now. Allow them to be able to filter truth from error. Give them supernatural abilities to know where you want them to come and help as part of your army of God. Lord, it's amazing to see what you're doing, and we just thank you for these redactions and the amount of information that's coming out and the evil that is being exposed so that we can actually rip out that evil. Thank you. And we pray you don't only rip it out not only the United States, eventually after this country gets healed, this patriotism flows as an example worldwide. We wait for you to be part of seeing your gospel flow like it never has before. We say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. All right, guys, I have to get off to the airport, and do not want to be late. You know how that is when that's not real fun. But I just want to say hi real quick here. I pray when we make it through this. I hear you. Amen. Amen. All right, guys. I just wanted to say hi to Eddie, Lightmark, Patricia, Jay, Another Face. Thank you. Beach Girl, Chick, Tina, Cintron, Angela, James, Christ Believer, Kendall. What's that? Misread that. It's Might something. Midnight Girl says moving too fast for me. Sorry about that. But hey, just wanted to thank you guys so much. Had a big night, especially for a Tuesday night. But what exciting things are going on here. Please go to my backup channels. Also, please, the little survey. Fill that out for my wife's business, especially anybody that wants to get off credit cards. There's a big special this month. They'll pay $250 to you if they can't save you money. So anytime if you're taking credit cards, Square, or anything else, this is the credit card processor of the year. If you do over $1,500 a month in your credit cards, please fill out that survey. You don't have to fill out the survey. You can just go to the survey and give me your email. I will be getting back with you. Probably have to talk on the phone or text. That'll be real important. But I really appreciate your guys' support of that. If you feel led, got a Patreon, and I'll be on my new website. We'll have a PayPal for if you want to do a one-time deal. But I need help now. I'm just realizing I was too prideful. I wasn't ever taking any money for the whole time I've done this, and then I realized that I was going to go broke, and my wife was going to make me quit if I didn't start really taking care of. And I think I told you guys, with me working as many hours as I do and doing this, that I'm gonna actually hire some people for $15 an hour in India that can do a lot of the getting all my videos out to these other platforms and stuff. So I just need a little bit of resources. Really appreciate your guys' help with anything you can do on Patreon, PayPal, or help my wife's business. So that will end up creating some retirement funds for us. God bless you guys. Looking so forward to keeping up, and this next couple years is going to be so fun. God bless. Talk to you next time. Oops, I always like to end with my picture, just saying, hey, FISA Declass, pain. It's happening right now, guys. We saw some SB2 and some Neon Revolt. What an exciting day. This day was going to go down in history. QAnon, September 17th. God bless.